Hi.
What's up, everybody? Hello, everybody in the chat. Oh, look, Robert, Eric, Justin, Ian. Nice. What's up, everybody? We're here a little
Hello.
bit earlier.
Robert bought a giant Thai scorpion. Scary.
Oh, shit. Now he's getting into bugs. Watch out.
You're doomed.
It's funny that Eric Hernandez is here because you know how I like to pick a picture of carpets that we would talk about in the show of a wild one. And I thought maybe I'll get one of a captive one. I'm just going to share this now. And I know Owen's not here yet.
I just messaged him. Damn slacker.
But he probably thinks it's at 7 still. Come on, man. Look at those carpets.
I
Look
also
at that
really like
picture.
that bowl. Not going to lie. I'd take a 5 set of that.
Yeah. Right?
But yeah, nice carpet too.
Wow. They are. That's sort of like what I'm going with
what is
Molly,
that exactly?
Molly Ringwald. That's the red stuff, the red line
It's
stuff.
just a red coastal?
Yeah.
Yeah, the striping's really neat too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats off to you, sir. Usually you're only posting up Jags for the most part, but I saw them and I was like, wow, these are stellar.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah. So, okay. That's the
Let me know where you got your bowls. A dishwasher safe? What could I say?
Lucas only cares about the bowls. Fair enough.
I love it. Absolutely.
So,
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually have coffee. Actually, I almost drank the whole cup at this point.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So this one is actually that what is it? Gorgoran's head roast from Cold Blooded Caffeine. Still not as good to me as the Carpets and Coffee.
No surprise.
Right. But because it is darker. It's but it's like a mixed blend. It's like I think it's Brazil, Colombian, Sumatran, and Papua New Guinea.
Nice. And a lot of good snakes in all those places.
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like a heavy roast flavor type of.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
some good old mud water.
Yeah. I like
nice. I've been alternating between 3 different beans the past week. I've got that one that I sent you, the Equator coffee.
Yes.
The Ethiopian.
I got that. It was
smaller
delicious.
Beans. I don't know if it classifies as a pea berry, but they smaller, very floral and fruity. Love that light roast shit. You know me.
Yep.
Reminds me that it grew inside a fruit.
Yeah, right.
So I had that, and then I had the fall blend from Pete's, which nice balanced coffee, not necessarily swinging too far in any direction, but always got to go with the seasonal blend, see what they're doing.
Yep.
Then there's one other one that I've been trying, but I need to look at the package, and I'd run and go get it, but Owen's not here, so then you'd be alone.
Then I'd be solo. I mean, you can if you want.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'll talk about the Gecko Symposium that Dr. Drewlander will be at, that he is in the chat there. It's going to be at Tinley Park on Thursday, October 5th, 9 to 6. There you go. See? So if you're going to Tinley Park and you're into geckos, they got a killer lineup. Frank will be there. Philippe will be there. I don't know some of these other guys. I've heard of Joe Hupp, Steve Skies, Frank Payne, and Justin Drewlander.
I like him.
Yeah, he's all right. I like that guy.
Yes. So I've been drinking this.
I thought that said Joey Diaz coffee.
Proyecto Diaz coffee. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. Esencia. It has hints of raisins, caramel, and hazelnut. And it says caffeine with a purpose.
Oh, nice.
What's that purpose? Proyecto equals project. The purpose of our project is to rebuild both farms and legacies by roasting delicious coffee and giving back. But anyway, that's a little vague. I hope they do good things. It was roasted in Oakland and it tastes good.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. He said he'll ask where they got the bowl.
Nice. Oh, yeah. He hadn't made Jags in a few years. I guess every time, you know what it is, Eric? Every time I see people post up, it's usually they're posting up a picture of your Jag that you made. as opposed to the ones you keep and hoard back. all the red stripy stuff is getting hoarded back. By the way, did you see that Walma python that Brett had in the chat?
Brett Bender?
Yeah, you didn't see it?
Yeah, he's got some good ones.
Oh, this was a Dr.
Are you talking about the one that he had like 2 and then 3 in his hand? The group shots?
I think so. Wait.
Yeah. He posted up, I know he had one of his holdbacks. He had one from Dr. J, and then there was one that was born right behind me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let me see
yes, indeed.
You know, you got something good when Brett's getting some of your Walmas.
I just wish I could have made more. Yeah. Oh, Justin said no a few minutes ago. I missed it.
I'm going to post it up right now. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I think that's one of Justin's.
Oh, yeah.
Animals.
That's the goods.
Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need some of that.
That's
did,
what you're.
Did you hear me, Justin?
Did I say it loud enough? Is it the banding, right? You were talking about this last time. You like that, like real tight banding.
I love clean banding, but also that animal just has exquisite base coloration. I mean, obviously we have a nice orange belly there, but even aside from that, there's just a yellow hue throughout that I find very, very gorgeous.
Yeah. Justin keeps letting these go. I don't think he's going to let anything.
I saw
anymore.
Will Philippek has a crazy looking one with really perfect thin bandings, just gorgeous. And I freaked out about that snake. And then I think Justin also commented like, wow, that one. And you know, who made that? He did. So yeah. But I think I'm making the same mistake. I didn't hold back enough, and I'm gonna like 4 years from now, I'm gonna be really sad.
You didn't learn. That's gonna happen to you. You're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's the best looking woman I've ever seen in my life." Who produced it? You did. Damn it! Son of a bitch.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know where the heck is Owen at? What is he?
I don't know. I hope everything's all right.
Yeah, I hope he is all right. Did he even see the? No, he didn't even see it.
Yeah,
okay.
He is absent.
He's getting yelled at. The squirrel. He's chasing squirrels around.
The squirrel got out. Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Do you know how I foster huskies sometimes? For the rescue that I got mine from.
Right.
So I got a new foster on Monday. First one in a long time because, you know, can't do a good job with that when I'm going on tour and stuff like that. But
right.
Really cool dog, really chill, like a 3 or 4 year old female, super sweet. She jumped off my second story balcony, took an 18-foot skydive to freedom, and was running the streets of Oakland for 8 to 9 hours.
Holy shit. They told me about those huskies. You got to watch them.
That was some excitement that I did not need. But eventually, after like a full day of failing to catch her, a family caught her and got a leash on her. And it ended well, but my God.
What's up, James? Wow. Okay. Well, see, that's why I like the short dogs. They can't. I can't really go.
I told my girlfriend, golden retriever. Just keep saying golden retriever.
So my neighbor said too.
No more of these psychopaths.
Oh my God. Interesting that I was. We were back and forth on how we were going to handle NPR. Owen's about to go to Scotland, and I'm about to go. What did I say? 9 days. 9 days from heading to Florida to do some herping. But we were trying to figure out, should we do NPR this week, Carpets and Coffee? We were supposed to do the show with Dr. Zach about thermoregulation. However, poor Dr. Zach, he's burned
like
out.
That guy too.
Yeah, he's having a lot to do, I guess, with the book, and he asked if we could postpone until after Tinley. So I was like, yeah, no problem, whatever.
September is always pretty rough on
back to school, all that kind of
Dr.
shit.
Zach. Yeah,
I can imagine. Well, at least he's not dealing with riots and shit like that. That's
Yeah, well, at least not in the same fashion. His riots
Yes.
are like undergrads that feel entitled to an education.
I don't know. Maybe I'll stick with Philly.
Yeah.
But so anyway, that was that. So then we decided we're going to do carpets and coffee today. And I was, for some reason, Lake Chapala garter snakes popped into my brain.
I like those.
Yeah, I know. What part of Florida? We're headed into Orlando and then heading up north. We're kind of going northwest, I guess. Kind of.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Lake Chapala garter snakes
yes.
are really cool. I actually got mine from Dr. Zach.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he got his from Garter Guy, Rob Shea.
Okay.
Who I think imported a lot of stuff from Europe for his stock. Because like this line of Lake Chapala garter snakes, we didn't get them from Mexico, we got them from Europe. so that just makes sense. But they're a lot more into garter snakes over there, Stephen Bowl and the likes. But anyway,
okay,
yeah.
So I guess because I've been doing like I set up again, taking a shot at it and seeing how it goes, letting it settle in for like I have 2 cages that are set up now. It's like
for the corn snake.
Well, I have that one set up.
Okay.
I have 2 other cages that are sort of like brumating, or like, incubating, if you will, like getting started and whatnot.
Nice.
It'll take some time or whatever.
Like cycling a fish tank. Yeah, let it grow in.
Yeah. So I'm like, I know that we've talked about garter snakes and like, how you bred them and kept them and whatnot. And
they don't get like talked about enough.
Yeah,
we take them for granted. We take them for granted. They're our version of crappets.
And do you think that that's because it's just the snake that we all see?
Yes, it's the one that everybody that you talk to that has like never seen a snake, they're like, is that one of them gardener snakes? Like garden snakes?
Garden snakes, yeah.
They're the first ones most of us are introduced to. They're all around us, but that's just a bias on where we were born, like they're so cool, and they're not even really like a traditional colubrid, like the Natricinae or whatever the heck is like its own thing, and they're really, really interesting in their own right.
Yeah.
It's
like so I was looking at like keeping them, they would be like the perfect candidate for like a bioactive setup that you could just sort of have and you could watch and look at and watch.
Absolutely.
Especially during the day and whatnot. So I was, I started like looking into it, and shame on me, I didn't even know Lake Chapala was in Mexico. And I was like, these are from Mexico? What the hell? And I feel like, I don't know. And I was saying to you before we started, and it's like you seem to want to talk about them from time to time, and we're just like, it's not carpet pythons. Let's keep moving on. So I'm like, maybe we should talk about this because there's probably some interesting stuff that
on this episode of Grounds and Garters, coffee grounds.
Yes, there you go.
The Mexican garter snake. So, we have here in North America, we have a bunch of the different Thamnophis subspecies. Sertalis comes to mind as one that we have a bunch of across the country. But then in Mexico, it's its own species complex, Thamnophis equus, and they occur across these isolated transvolcanic belt lakes, which sounds crazy, and I am not a geologist, but basically it's a bunch of really big lakes that have existed for a really, really long time and have had tons of millions of years for the species therein to differentiate and become endemic.
Yes.
Just like the lakes in Africa with the African cichlids, Lake Malawi, Lake Tanganyika.
Right.
It's that kind of thing, but for garter snakes. And so you have this whole species complex within Thamnophis equus, one of the biggest and, in my opinion, prettiest being those found in El Lago de Chapala.
Nice. I'm gonna pull up a couple pictures that you got real quick that you sent over.
Owen said, coming. Everybody in the chat, when he arrives, be like, Slacker, piece of crap.
Say the show was good until
Somebody say, nice of you to join us.
Yeah.
Owen.
Yeah, I thought it was so it's kind of like, am I wrong in thinking that it's very similar to like the leaf tail geckos in Australia, where like on a specific mountain rock they have this species, and then on another
that sounds yeah, equivalent. I don't know too much about those, but it probably sounds like the same deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's 7 subspecies that were described in the paper that you found. And I believe that's still up to date, that 2003 paper.
Yeah, look at the blue. So
the
are
blue
these
is sweet?
Yeah, these are
Stephen Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's big garter snake guy in a different country.
So a different country.
Yeah, where is he? Stephen Bowl. I don't know. But at the top of his website, he's in the Netherlands. There you go.
Okay.
It says Stephen Bull Garter Snake's website, English.
Yeah. You put it English.
Yeah.
I think like when it comes to like I was saying with the like if you had the bio set up, the one interesting thing that I find with garter snakes is that you can keep them communal almost to the point where you kind of want to, right?
I think, in my opinion, and granted, I haven't worked with a ton of different garter snakes, so I'll just be talking about the Japalas.
Yeah.
But I almost would feel bad not doing so, because they're so interactive with one another, and they choose to be with each other at all times. It's just a really interesting dynamic. Hello, Owen McIntyre.
Thank you. Yes, late, but work kind of got away from me there after the. I'm like 5 o'clock should be fine. Work's been dead all day. 4:45. It's like call. I'm like no. Yeah.
Everybody's rolling the watch Fight Club now.
Wait, are they live streaming?
No.
Can we fight them through the live stream? Like, is that
What's
how
going
that
on?
No, I just put up the episode they did yesterday with Ron St. Pierre, and it's do DYI or not to DYI.
Well, that will wait.
Take it down now.
Be with us now, and then go
delete
listen
it.
to Dr.
Delete
J
it.
after.
Take it down.
And how come
later?
How come you don't have garter snakes?
Yeah, Owen, what the hell?
They're outside.
Don't you have king snakes and corn snakes and rat snakes?
Oh, so the better one would be that is black rat snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are also outside. Yes, correct.
Well, do black rat snakes have really cool faces that look like elapids and go in the water?
That's what the Carinata's for.
Carinata, which one?
Yes. Well, I mean, if we're talking
immediately, I go to your Carinata.
Well, no,
we're
like,
talking. Wait a minute, that's not an aquatic snake.
If we're talking looks like a cobra, it's the Chinese king rats.
Right?
I'm just saying.
If we're talking about cool face, we're talking about all Carinata.
Mexican garter snakes are not your mother's garter snake. These things are huge.
They're right up your alley, man.
I have the Carinata.
Big,
I have the
nasty colubrid. No, it's not nasty.
Exactly. See, it doesn't check that other box.
It doesn't check the nasty box.
Yeah, it doesn't check the nasty box. Yeah.
Wait, you want to see? You want me to get Owen's attention? Watch.
I do.
Go on.
You like blue baron eye, don't you?
I do.
How about? Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Right. Wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Eric, that's not blue.
Oh, it's like the opposite of blue. What am I looking at? Caramel something or other, hypo something or other.
Nope, wrong.
Noodles.
Wrong.
No,
wrong again. I'm taking your carpet card back. Give it back.
Send
it back.
Failure.
Whoa, no caramel, no hypo.
No.
What the fuck are reds? They're reds. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think this is in the calendar contest. By the way, I gotta say,
I should have seen
if this is in the
thing.
calendar contest.
Why
I know. That's why.
Yeah, dumbass.
Why is it not? That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, this is taking it up a next level, right?
I mean,
right or wrong?
I mean, the plating is fantastic, and I'll have to reward it on presentation at this.
Do you want the
point.
bowls too? Eric is researching
I
where.
mean, I guess not. Yeah,
I love that bowl.
that looks like a great noodle bowl. Yeah,
I have definitely doodled that exact pattern on my like notebooks in high school.
Okay, Owen. Now you're caught
Thank
up.
you. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Now we can go back.
Not quite
to-
caught up. We're talking about how cool Mexican
garter
garter
snakes.
snakes are, so
Yeah.
I don't really want you to, yuck my yum.
Yeah,
if I
what the
have,
hell?
If you need a timeout, that's okay.
it's fine. I enjoy Mexican garter snakes, and I like your garter snakes. Do I want them? Probably not.
You just don't know that yet.
Well, it's just basically it's because of the space thing, right?
What?
How much space do I have? I'm already running out.
You
How
make
much-
more when you need to make more.
Yeah, right. I do.
Yeah, somehow you find a way.
I never said it was done appropriately, but yeah. I mean, they are very pretty, and probably I would find them more appealing than the garter snakes around here. Like
How
keeping those.
about?
What am I looking at?
I don't know. This computer
know.
just decided to have a seizure.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
There it goes.
It did. Hold on.
It's okay now.
There we go. There's a big pile of them. So what? Like, okay,
This is what Lucas sees when he comes
This
home.
is my
He's like,
life.
oh God! Oh.
Literally,
So wait-
yeah.
He opens his snake room door and they just fall on him. He's like, oh God, not like this. Like,
how
yeah,
many would you keep in a setup? Together?
So at the moment in my like big, I don't even know, what do they call them? Like 40-gallon breeder or whatever, glass
your tank?
aquarium
Yeah.
situation. I have the pair that Zach sent me, and then 1.1 of my 2022 babies, which are already having their own babies.
Yeah, I think Zach sent you these so that you would have to deal with these bunny-like animals that just
Well, I just sent him
multiply.
6 back, so
yeah, there you go.
he wins.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He muttoned you. Yeah, you did all the work and
Do
he
you
got the
think
babies.
that keelbacks are cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're nitricids too. They're more
Okay.
related to garter snakes.
Yeah. Aren't they rear fang venomous to it?
I think
Like,
so.
like they don't
Just-
necessarily.
You're on the right track. Keep going. So it's- all
yeah,
right.
harmless
Now
to
we have
humans.
attention.
We've course corrected. Let's
Okay.
continue.
So
Yeah.
most species are harmless to humans, but a few of the Thamnophis, for instance, Cirtalis and the terrestrial garter snakes, elegans, are capable of inflicting bites that can result in local, non-life-threatening symptoms, and at
Mhm.
least, oh, never mind. That's it.
Uh-oh.
That's it.
That's
There's something
That's
in
it.
there. If you were the size of a toad, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble.
Okay.
But we're not.
We're
well,
not.
Owen
so
might say I am the size of
I
a toad,
mean,
but that's
why am I even here if you're gonna jump on it? Like, I mean,
well, we had to deal with it when before you got
easy,
here. So.
easy.
Yeah.
We can always.
It is
make it
easy.
through.
Correct.
Shut up.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, they're great, man, and like
They're nice. They're very
the
pretty.
whole like live planet thing, like you're talking about, Eric.
Yeah.
Totally. But then also, you basically have a water snake. Like I am really wanting to do a half land, half aquatic situation
Yeah.
with some live plants, let some duckweed grow in, and just let them have their own little pond.
Right. Do they
They're always doing something. It's great.
like they spend a lot of time in the water?
yeah. If you give it to them, they are there.
I guess so. That's from
Now-
Lake Chapala, right?
They're exactly.
It's almost
they're-
like they're found around some sort of body of water. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Eric, put up the picture of the tree where they're like hanging out in the middle of the lake. This is a
Sometimes you gotta get out of the water.
freshwater sea
Yeah.
snake. Like
Let's see.
they only occur in this one lake. It's very cool.
that is a cool locality kind of thing, to
Mhm.
consider. And there do seem to be a lot of vibrant colors when it comes to garter snakes and stuff like that. And that's
Well, that's a good one.
one in the water. Yeah.
But I was talking about the tree.
Oh, I see what you're
Ah.
doing.
I should have named them so I could be like, bring up figure 1.4.
1/4. Yeah. Some sort
How
of like court
scientific of
thing,
you.
yeah.
Let's see. Let me stop sharing that. I'm a little off my game, man. I gotta get
Yeah,
better.
you know what to do. I don't know what to do
A little
with my
slow on the
hands.
draw. It's been it's been a couple weeks since let's see. Oh yeah, that's a cool picture.
That's
These
a
things
tree.
can become a heavy-bodied 4-foot garter snake.
Okay.
4
4 foot.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, look, they're in
There's
there.
a shit ton of them in there. Yeah.
Even in the wild, they choose to be together. It's
I
cute.
wonder what would make certain species be like that as opposed to not. Like, what would be? Is there any thought of like why they are so communal?
I mean,
I don't know.
Don't know.
I mean, I think several
We've been
things.
stumped.
Several animals, like we've seen, like the communal nesting and stuff like that. So I think a lot of colubrids and other things, this is a safe place. This is a nice place. This is a warm place. And if those things are kind of hard to come by, I think there'd be more, working together.
If only
Dipping
they did.
toes into aquatic snakes. Yeah, not ready for elephant trunk snakes.
Aw. You
No?
want to file? Yeah.
That's, I mean, what he has going on there with those, man, is
Those are
next
nuts. I
level.
like watching that.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Tony.
But so James had plans for 125 gallon. How many do you think garters could go in that?
I'd start with 2 and then see what happens.
125 gallons.
That's got to be at least
One garter
8
per
foot
gallon.
cage.
Yeah.
8-foot cage.
One garter per gallon. Is that the
Yeah,
rule?
that's the ratio.
It's like
you
making
know?
coffee, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
one
you-
garter per gallon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You
put
know.
like 20 in there, see what happens.
Jesus Christ.
20.
I don't
20.
know. They
20,
climb.
No,
They
you
climb
go away
too.
for a weekend, you come back to 400. Like, why?
Oh,
would
you're
you
right.
do
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's the mistake you made. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the snake that breeds on accident, right?
Exactly. I would maybe do females. I would do like maybe 4 or 5 females and then 1 male. So if shit starts getting crazy, you can pull him out and put him
Does
over
get a
there.
little crazy.
So, coming from the Morelia world, like the carpet python world, do
Yes.
people worry about like lineage, let's say, or like do they worry about that? Like when you're keeping a group of snakes like that communally, how do you know who's the daddy?
It's a good question. I don't think people really do
Give a shit?
However, that's not to say that people wouldn't care about like more like the genetic diversity side of it.
Right, that's what
But,
I'm thinking, especially since they're from Mexico and you probably can't get a.
And like I said, they're from Europe, from Mexico. So who knows how many came over from the European population.
Well, and there's
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you can get unrelated animals.
I think it would be kind of like the olive python thing, where it's like I want to get from you and I want to get from somebody else to be unrelated. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, kinda, but like if it's as good as you want, or I think the better one is rough scale pythons. It's like I'll get you and I'll get that one. They're unrelated.
Nipper. I was talking to Nipper earlier today, and he quick caught me on the spot, and he's like, "What's the subspecies of olive python?" And I'm like,
Baronite.
The Baronite.
I knew it, but I couldn't say it, and I was like, "It starts with a B." And I'm
For
like,
shame.
"No."
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I'm
Failed.
embarrassed for
Total
us. Yeah.
total fail.
Man,
Total
good
fail.
God.
That's because I was thinking of Lake Chapala garter snakes.
Blake Chapala, and he goes, "What?"
Only,
He's like, I
there's
don't.
only so much room in the hard drive. You know what I mean? Something gotta go.
Thamnophis ecus obscurus.
Because we can't get Baronite olive pythons in the States.
We
right?
ain't got that.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
But now that we mentioned it, someone's going to post it on Morph Market because it's like a little bit redder or something. You know?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wasn't there something that? What was it?
It was an imbricata on Morph
Imbricata
Market.
on Morph
Yeah,
Market?
it was an
Yeah.
imbricata
Imbricata
on Morph Market. Yeah.
Market. And then somebody posted up,
Like, how'd that happen?
which was clearly like. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna find the picture because I thought it was quite funny. Chris Salemi sent me this, and
My favorite is still there was a kid that posted a Nile monitor, and in the picture he's like terrified and holding it with a glove, and the description is, "I have no idea
Sweet.
what I'm doing. Somebody please help me."
I mean, at least
was
he
my
admitted
favorite.
it. But
It was
yeah,
great. Yeah.
What do you say, Owen? What do you say, Lucas?
Wait a
You
second.
think they misspelled jaguar and meant to put jungle?
Wrong J word.
This trait has a wobble condition.
It does it?
I'm going to say it don't.
I don't think so. I don't
Maybe
think it
that's
does.
why- wait, this is probably why there's people still in the world saying my jag doesn't wobble. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's not
yeah.
a jag.
Well, what's the? I had a
Yeah.
caramel. I'm sorry. I had a zebra het granite up for sale, and somebody's like, "How's its wobble?" I'm like, "Non-existent." And they're like, "Well, isn't it a jag?" No, read the ad again. Like it's no. You sure?
Try again.
Pretty fucking sure. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I forget. Somebody was saying.
Oh,
that,
Riley knew
like,
who he was. Okay.
Man, there was some. I had somebody ask me if I knew for certain that the bredli that I produced was a male, and I'm like, pretty sure I saw hemipenes when I popped it, but who knows? Like, yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Yeah. So, real quick, swinging back to the garter snakes.
Yes.
I'm curious, what's your so being somebody that's used to pythons, right? Which most of the people that probably listen to us are probably
True.
in some way or not into pythons. So what's the difference in like the feeding regime when it comes to a garter snake as opposed to a python?
Ooh, so I have a blast. So you know how
Have you ever fed the?
Fun.
You ever fed the
Feeding
ducks?
is fun.
You ever fed the ducks at a zoo where you just have like the little machine
we
and
have bread.
you just cascade all the pellets? Yeah.
So
That.
yeah, I mean, like, oh, and you talk about putting down a platter of mixed meats and trout and shit for
Just
some of your
watching the
big colubrids
gore,
and letting
yeah.
them go to town. It's kind of like that. What's been nice for me with the chapalas specifically is I have had no issue. Yeah, I've had no issue with them eating just chopped rodent pinkies, right upon being birthed. Whereas like a lot of the other garter snakes, you got to fuss with worms or fish or all the, this and that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I just chop up frozen pinkies into little pieces. I use a little lid of a deli container and drop that in and
Like a plate.
yeah,
Honestly,
like a plate. And then you watch them go crazy, but you do watch them so that you pull siblings out of siblings' mouths.
There you
because they would rather eat each other
Then to let
than
go.
just go get their own piece because
Yeah.
he has it. And I want it. Like,
Honestly,
very much like human beings.
this is how you feed like baby monitor lizards. Like when I had the mangrove babies, it's the same
Yeah,
deal. You
exactly.
just chopped
Just
it
like
up,
the
put it
Ackies.
down. They went all over it. Yeah.
So you don't worry about like how do you? I guess you're watching it the whole time. Is how you make sure that
I am.
all eaten?
And then the adults, in my experience, have never accidentally eaten each other. It's been just the babies for me.
Okay.
Oh, and it's
realized,
never happened, right? Like I mean, I've never had to pull
Yeah.
them out. Like I've never had to prevent it.
Right.
But yeah, the babies are a little bit more excitable. Yeah.
I think I saw somewhere. I can't remember. I'm gonna probably butcher this, but I remember where where they're in like their breeding balls. Does
Mhm.
that apply to all garter snakes that do that, or is that just the ones that are found up in Canada?
I think it's all, isn't it?
All of them?
It's definitely not just the ones in Canada. I know that a lot of the ones native to my area here do that as well. I couldn't tell you about the Mexican garter snakes, but I assume so.
Okay.
And I think that also applies to like what was that? There's that one species of snake, the like planet Earth thing. It was actually like on an island with a bunch of iguanas and stuff like that. Like they also do breeding balls and stuff like that. So
That video is insane.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the one where
the one that was running. Yeah, they also do breeding balls and
Oh,
stuff like that. Yeah.
that was so intense watching that
I
at my
know.
house, right? Dory was like, "Come on, lizard! Come on, lizard!" And I'm going, "Get him, snake! Get him, snake!"
Yeah.
Just like the debates of our political party.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess like racers, garters, stuff like that. I think that's part of like just
Galapagos racers.
makes sense. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll buy it.
And don't they like when they breed, like the males will don't they scent like is it they scent the
Don't they plug the female?
did they plug the female once they've mated with her?
Yeah.
They
Which is just-
definitely have some crazy stuff like that. But that just reminded me, the Mexican garter snakes definitely have like barbed hemipenes, like spiky, crazy hemipenes. And I
Wow.
did have that get stuck once.
Oh dear.
And luckily it resolved itself, but I was very concerned for a while because she's like trying to run away and he's like
No.
hooked
Yeah. Okay.
in. Just like-
All right. Well,
So they definitely have some
Dragging them across. the
Jesus.
cage. Like, holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well, and that's you know, an interesting point as well, because I think I don't even remember what podcast anymore, but Zach was talking about hemipene anatomy as one of the main morphological features that these people have used for the colubroid phylogeny. So it's cool to see like an actual really obvious difference in hemipene when that happened.
Gotcha.
Like, yes, that has spikes. Like
Clearly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesus.
Um,
Well, I
Yeah,
give
they
it-
also do this thing where they like undulate like a crazy movement, the male on top of the female,
mhm.
to restrict her respiration and starve her of oxygen so that she can't get away for breeding.
Oh my God.
This escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Nature is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate. Yeah.
What do
Dear
they call
God.
that? Nature don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No.
We
nature
don't
give
care
a
about
shit.
your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, the brutality of that aside, it's definitely a completely different set of things that you can observe that you will not observe with your carpet pythons.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen that. Yeah.
Oh, Ian, come on.
So, Francis was asking, do we need multiple males for breeding? For
Apparently
successful
not.
breeding?
Yeah.
They did it when I only had a pair. But perhaps it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I think that they're kind of
So-
just like mice. They just will breed. I think
Yeah.
they're bunnies.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they like to breed.
So, I guess the other thing that I'm thinking is like, do you have to worry about like they don't they don't try to get like, is there a dominant male like in the tank? Is it how does that work? Is there
At least again, just with the obscurus, just with the chapalas, I've never seen that kind of
No.
dynamic. I only see aggression during feeding time, and
Yeah.
it's more like give me your food than anything else.
I mean, it kind of seems like with the way that their hemipenes are designed and the way that you talked about with the breeding, it's almost like first male gets there and he makes sure that nobody else can get to her, you know.
And
so it
and
almost
for
seems like-
all of these kinds of species that
yeah,
have an aggregated breeding ball situation, there's a lot more that goes into parenthood than just who gets there first, because a lot of the times multiple males get there, and then you're talking about sperm competition
right.
Mhm.
and like actual like competition inside of the reproductive
that's-
organs.
that's-
Like
but
he's
that's
long
out.
gone, the sperm are still
Right.
doing their thing.
But
so-
that has been removed from captivity, so it's just basically first one get there, and he's the only one. So
well, unless you do have multiple males.
true. I
Um,
don't think why you would do that unless
Mm.
you
sperm
wanted.
competition,
I
It
mean,
seems like-
why?
This seems like a snake that's
survival
like
of the
right.
fittest.
Yeah, right. That's right up my dad's
They're all in a
alley.
box. They're all in a box.
I'll send
Yeah.
some to your
I don't. Oh.
I just see him
Shut
like
up, Owen.
I just can see I could just see him like getting into something like that just because of the
Yeah.
just the natural or the naturalistic setup you could do.
You go
Yeah,
outside.
the sky's the limit.
You can go outside, whack a couple frogs with a stick, and throw them into their cage for food. Because
Mhm.
He's not far from doing that.
Every now and then,
he
as
isn't. Yeah.
a treat, you can fill the water bowl with some, low thiamine feeder fish and watch them go to town.
I did that with the false water cobra until they got too big.
Yeah, it's a blast.
It's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So they're easy to breed, pretty easy to keep. I guess the constant
I did it 4
shitting
times
is a
without
problem.
trying.
Well, let me ask this question: if you have like,
I didn't want to. It just kept happening. It's just
It's
Yeah,
one of
every
those
time-
fun
every
ones.
time you came back from tour, you're like,
stop.
Literally, yeah. And it's like they just keep popping up. Like you're sitting there, you're doing your own, like I'm usually eating a meal because they were in view of my table, and then there'd just be a smaller one, and I'm like,
Small
fuck!
one, just like slowly, like like periscopes up. God damn it.
Well,
Yeah.
I will say this, right? When I was younger, I had probably like when I first got snakes, after I got the Burmese python, my dad brought home a garter snake, and it was a blue garter snake. Who
Florida?
knows?
Florida
I'm
blue?
assuming it was. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the blue, right? And so
Similar.
then, yep, I got another one, and I kept them together forever. I did nothing, like absolutely nothing. They sat on the top of a radiator in my room, and that was it.
Nice.
And interesting thing is that I came home one day and I saw these, like, they looked almost like orange jelly beans in the cage, and I'm like, what the hell was? And it was like these little sacks that the snake were in, and there's little baby snakes. So
Oh yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
I have.
So does that mean I bred garter snakes?
Yes.
I'll give
Yes.
it to you.
It
I'll give it
counts.
to you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it counts.
You bred them as much as I have. Good God. I have UV on all of them. Right now I have 3 baby tanks because there's so many babies. And then the adult live
I need to get the babies out of here before they start making more babies. Like,
I have a little time.
do you?
But you know, you look at those pictures, there's no way they don't get a good amount of sunshine out there. So
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
you know what?
Do you see them actively basking in the UV?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And climbing and swimming. And I posted on my Instagram the other day, they're the masters of the land, air, and sea, because they do like I had a picture of a baby like in a chondro pose.
Nice.
Yeah. It's fun.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Cool. So,
But-
easy to breathe.
That being said, I would never want to just have only garter snakes. I'm still a python guy.
Wouldn't that be weird?
We
I
all
mean,
are at heart. I mean, you can't
I mean,
ever.
You could do it if you had like tanks of various locality garters and stuff like that. And there's some cool ones out there, but that'd be like planted lake tank after planted lake tank, and then
It's like
at that point you're just keeping turtles. So
Turtles without shells and legs.
exactly, like, you know, it's get the damn turtle bins, and you know,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's like for me, right? I could eat Mexican food every night. I could have a burrito for every meal of my life.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
they do come in
that's
breakfast
aspadites,
burrito,
man.
and-
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's carpets
like
for me.
garter snakes, like sushi, it's great. It's nothing
mercury
like a
poisoning.
burrito,
Yeah.
but you know, it's not all the time.
But there's only
Yeah.
2 aspadites, so I mean, you kind of gotta.
Fight me.
All right.
Do you see, like, I think
How many
like,
rough scales are there? Bitch? sorry.
There only
Sorry.
needs to be 1. Whoa.
What's up, Jeremy?
I love you. I love you.
None for
I love
you. That's
you.
what happens.
I love
yeah.
you.
That comment just came through.
Yeah.
Breathe.
I was going to say, it seems
You know.
like, you tell me, am I seeing the hobby wrong? And it's like making this shift towards like you have your main species you work with, or let's just say type of snake, right? Like whether it's carpets, ball pythons, aspadites, rough scales, whatever it is. It's like that's your main bread and butter that you want to keep, and you're super excited about this. But I see like more and more people sort of it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid, whereas like you would go to somebody's collection of snakes and it was almost like seeing a zoo. You know what I mean? Because there's like just a variety of different species. And it wasn't even like, you know, like even for us for a long time, it was just pythons, right? Even though it was different species, it was just all pythons still. But
Right.
now you're starting to see where it's like Owen. Look at the trend you've
Yeah,
set.
look at Owen.
Yeah.
Don't look
I
at
mean,
me.
you have a- you-
There's
tell
like
people.
3
Yeah.
different kinds of snakes hiding in his beard right now.
That's
Yeah,
not-
exactly. So, like, I guess my question for you, Owen, would be:
Yep.
do you notice that are similar people coming to you for the same, like, different species, or is it like this group comes to you for this, or that group comes to you for that?
It's almost like this person comes to me because they're into hognose and they want the mad hog. And then
Mhm.
these people come to me because they're into colubrid stuff and they want a Chinese king rat. And then
Mhm.
these people come to me because they're into pythons and they want a breadlie. It's very rarely is somebody who's come to me in the past for like strictly Morelia is
Mhm.
now contacting me for a Chinese king rat. It happens. There are a couple people who are interested in them, but nobody's pulled the trigger.
Right.
You know.
So, interesting.
Well, I like rhinos.
Yeah. Do you? That's fun.
Yeah. The horn.
Oh wait,
Yeah, it's down.
Now
It's
you-
down
not a
there,
unicorn. Yep.
Yep. Actually, it's funny because I swapped up the pairs for the season, and I put the female that has no horn in my big cage,
Mhm.
and
New morph.
I know, right? She's hornless. But she's just been so like the previous female would always hang out with the male. They'd always use the ceiling hide, and they would come out, do their thing, and they kind of go chill. She, I guess, isn't comfortable with the boy yet, so she's just been hanging out in this one plant, soaking up the UV, and then she has a hide down on the ground that she'll go to. So every morning she gets out, she comes up, she basks underneath the UV, warms up, maybe does a little bit of a cruise, and then goes back down to the ground. Where the other female and the other male never touch the fucking ground at all.
Really?
So it's been cool to watch.
Nice.
That it's kind of a different thing. So
Some personality.
So you're going to have rhinos that are het scaleless and het hornless.
I didn't say scaleless. Who said scaleless?
I don't know. You're taking
and also,
away. You're taking away things off the snake. I imagine it's only a
It
matter
can
of time
still
before
be
you
a
take the scales
snake.
away.
Like I think she lost her horn. I believe it was due to some sort of injury. So she will have babies with horns.
We'll see. You don't know that.
Oh God damn it!
Rob will hunt you down and beat you. How dare you?
Oh, the first albino rhino rat snake. My doorbell rings. Who could that be? It's
Come this
Rob
way.
with his stick. Yeah.
Come this way, Mr. McIntyre.
You knew this was going to happen.
Het hornless, het scaleless.
Albino. Yeah.
There was a second spitter. Oh, dear. Well, I do have, as always, I always like to share pictures of wild snakes. You know how we often say that, like, okay, before I share the picture,
yes,
prettiest python. Forget about what you keep or whatever.
Diamond.
What do you say, Lucas? Doesn't necessarily mean what your favorite python is.
Understood.
Yeah.
Prettiest. Only prettiest. For my taste, it's Bolin's.
I think I have something wrong with me because I'm like skewing more towards diamonds. It's really the only thing kicking around in my head right now. That's a retic.
Dude, tell me that snake is not beautiful.
That snake is beautiful.
The snake looks mad.
The yellow head.
The snake looks like it would break some glass.
That would hurt me. Yeah.
I think if you got nailed by that, you would be in some trouble for sure.
That
was
where in the world is
son of a
Carmen?
So this was Cambodia locality retic, and Mike Clarkson's posted it up. I saw it. He had it. I don't know if he was doing a book or something like that.
Jesus,
somehow, but I was like, holy shit,
that's a fantastic snake.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice that like you almost forget the wild pattern of a lot of the animals and stuff like that. You see morph after morph after morph, and it's
right.
Sometimes you see the wild and you're like, yeah, all right, I like that. That's cool. Like
definitely with retics.
Yeah. But Owen, me and you were on the same page when it comes to this one. But this was another one that I saw.
Yes.
Lyle Naylor from Australia. He was saying about how he put up a post of these diamonds that he relocated, which, oh man, talk about a dream job. Holy shit.
My job is to move diamonds from here to there. Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll do it. But is
that near Gosford?
It was the Upper Hunter Valley.
Upper Hunter.
I didn't really get a chance to look exactly how close that was to that, but the yellow on this one really kind of popped out to me because
that snake's amazing.
Yeah. Why are diamonds not more popular in when it comes to carpets?
They're plenty popular.
Money.
Nah, not when it comes to carpets.
Think
about it.
Money. And
who's
then
the biggest carpet python breeder in the U.S.?
Myself.
Besides
like in pounds or
I don't. My weight does not count. What did he do? He dropped out. What did he have?
I
You took him out.
him. Yeah.
You mute him? Oh,
The
you took him out again.
I did. I have power.
He's drunk with power. I'll
I
add
am.
you back in.
So
Jesus, I give up.
yeah, that's
I'm
right.
trying, Lucas.
When I allow it. So I would say Nick Mutton.
Okay. How many pairs of diamonds does he have?
He's got to have like what? He's got. All right. Now, is Nick the
How
kind of
often
guy?
does he post up pictures
Well,
of diamond
but
pythons?
is Nick the kind of guy that would have a pair of every single locality or line of diamond? Or would
I would
he
think
just,
he would be, right?
You think he would be, or is he just going to focus on the one that he believes is the most pure?
no, he's definitely working.
No,
on his
he has
stuff
the
with
one that's
some-
probably the least pure.
I don't think he's doing that anymore, Eric.
Cypress Creek?
Yeah, I don't think so.
He
I
got
think
rid of
his
this?
clutch last year was just San Diego Zoo.
Oh, okay. I thought it was San Diego Zoo, Cypress Creek.
I might be wrong.
Riverbank.
Okay. I don't know. But yeah, to your point,
regardless.
he's not pumping out 3 clutches a year.
Right.
Um,
Who else has, I mean,
consistent
usually
diamond
if people have
people.
diamond pythons, it's
I
like
think Greg
one
Hine,
pair, two.
Greg, yeah.
Dave Kelly,
Terry Burwell,
Josh Easter.
Martin
Buddy
Roseman.
Buscemi.
Yeah, Buddy Buscemi kills it pretty good.
I mean,
right?
oh my God.
Every
yeah.
year he's producing them.
At least 2 pairs or
Yeah.
2 clutches.
And he only had, well, I don't know what he has now, but at the time, remember he had 2.2,
You only had like
right?
Yeah, he only had 2.2. I think all his diamonds stem from that 2.2. I think obviously he's kept holdbacks and stuff. But
It's just like,
dude, it's like that's the problem. Is like Buddy posts up babies, and I'm like, I could get a baby. And then like Terry posts up babies. Everybody's just hitting you with diamonds right now. And
yeah, you really got the diamond bug for sure.
I know somebody needs to trade me for roughies.
Oh yeah, Gary Shavino too.
Gary Shavino.
I mentioned Martin, but Gary as well.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just weird to me that like and Jeff might be right. So maybe we have to do better work at like getting rid of the
stigma
that they just dropped.
Well, I
That's
think
tricky
also,
though. I don't want to get rid of that because then people will stop remembering that they need to be cold and they will start dropping dead again.
True. Good
That's
point.
true.
I think it's good to keep in mind, but just be very clear that is a choice.
The other issue I feel is that I think the stigma around the diamond python breeders and the community is that they are very green tree python breeder-esque when it comes to like arguing of purity and coming down on people who maybe are not as educated. So I do think that's definitely part of it.
I can take
they're
back
mean.
by this
They're
statement.
mean. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not the most welcoming group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think there are certain people that are very intent on keeping them between $1,500 and $2,000.
I
Is that the going price for them now?
Yeah,
1500,
about 8. I think 18 is the
for
is
one.
what I kept. For a girl.
Yeah. For a girl, really? Wow.
Yeah, and that we're talking like fresh baby out of the egg. 18. It hasn't developed. You can take a look at its parents and just kind of make your own decision. The second they start getting color and they start being able to see rosettes, it just goes up from there.
Yeah, I think like when you look at this snake in particular, right? I think of the thing that I guess is the thing that I like most about them is probably similar to what I like about Boland's pythons, to where they have like the white labial scales and they have like that. It's almost like face paint in between them. I don't know.
The shape of shark teeth.
Yeah, it just pops for me, It's just like, wow. And they got the pits that come along the bottom jaw.
I just want a really good pair of black and white diamonds. I want a really good pair.
Black and white. Wow.
They're hard to find.
I know, but I like.
I have one black and white. The other one.
Do you?
I know, and I keep waiting for a guy to
She's about to go in the shed. She's looking good. The other one's looking good. They're nailing food.
Eric,
almost to the
freeze those fuckers.
If he doesn't do it this year, I'm just gonna be over there every day. Next
38
season.
degrees.
I'm gonna open this window. Is what I'm gonna do
later on. During podcast, I want to see you with like a coat going like, "Well, we're working very well with the diamonds." Like it's so cold though, and don't care.
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can post pictures in that chat.
I don't think so.
Nope. Yeah. I mean, you could try, but I don't.
Give
it
a
don't
shot.
think it allows
See what happens. If it doesn't let you, you can't.
I hope I make you some diamonds this year, Owen.
That would be awesome.
You've been really hitting that diamond bug as of late.
I don't know why. I think it's because and I can only say this because he's sleeping right here next to me. The dog's getting close to the end of his life. It has to be soon, right? You're right.
Not if you keep saying that.
No, he's still good.
Can you send it to me on Facebook and then I'll post it up? Try that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, send me that picture in Facebook Messenger and I'll post it up.
I would love to do something where it's like, Lucas and I were talking about it today of what to do as far as like a diamond enclosure with a large litter bin in the bottom and, tall and being able
we're going to train them to use the litter box.
No, not that way. You can have a bunch of mulch.
Wait, you weren't talking.
I was not.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe even almost bury it. Do you think they do that too? If you kind of, if it was a deep enough substrate in the bottom and you kind of buried the bin mostly and just had the opening, do you think they would kind of go down?
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. Wait, what size are you talking about?
God, I want like a 6 foot, like attached to a 6 foot, almost like a corner kind of a deal.
So total of 12 foot, but in a
but like 6 feet tall, and then have tall. Like a 1 or 2, like about a foot substrate.
I want a cage that goes from my floor to my ceiling.
Yep.
With a whole eucalyptus tree in it.
You know what? You know what?
That's
Cody,
where I'm going. Yep.
What Cody had for his Mambas.
Bigger than that.
I want that. Like that's what I want.
We're getting distracted.
We are.
Yeah. Sorry. I see my name and I'm like, was I supposed to do something? Oh, yeah. No. I think I'm gonna go. Well, I think I've talked about this. Like 8 foot high.
Yeah.
6 foot long, 4 foot deep, type of deal. That's the cage I'm looking for. To do. I think the issue is, Owen, you brought this up before, and I've been talking to my dad about it. But like, how to support the middle so it doesn't sag.
I mean, I like the way that Chris, when he built my he's not wrong, but
your ceiling is the only space you have left, Lucas. That's true in the room that you can see.
Yeah, there are other rooms. I like the way that Chris did it with my 8-footers with that like support structure. It's like a rib that goes in the middle, and then it's supports that go around the entire top. So it's almost like a skeleton, kind of like it kind of distributes the weight.
Sure.
And everything like that, which it prevents bowing, and you can use the sliding glass doors and stuff like that. And I think it's definitely something you need to be concerned about, because we can get sheets of PVC, but is a full sheet of PVC going to be okay if I try to stand it up on its end and make a box out of it? Like, especially
if the cages above it, if you're stacking, are
like
bioactive and have a million pounds of dirt.
Right. So that's why I would kind of do the diamonds myself as a freestanding unit.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to separate it so I can have kind of like with what I got with the white lips, where it's like, oh, you're over here and you're over here. Time to close the door and feed. I don't care if the male is here and the female is there and they originally supposed to be there. It's like that kind of a thing. It makes it easier.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, how do you balance, like, so if that's the case, right? And I guess you have to have, if you're having a cage this size, you definitely have the ability to do it, but you're going to have multiple hot spots, multiple.
No? I mean, I would do
a diamond. Room temperature summer, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. I would do a basking light at the top. And then if I really felt weird about it, I might put a heat panel in there, but the panel would only be set almost like a safety net. Like it would be set for like 60 something or something like that. But it's a diamond.
It's like in the mid 50s at night right now.
Yeah.
The 2 diamonds on Alex's balcony are still ferociously eating, and they're fine.
Yeah. There you go. I would.
Oh, they're together all the time?
No, they're next to each other, but they're outside. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and
I would
they are
do
hunting
that.
actively, and they're fine.
I think there would be a basking light, and it would be set up on a timer, and maybe even some kind of thing I could do online, or like over a smart device or whatever, to kind of make it be a little sporadic, and then I would just do that.
Well, that's how I have my, like, the ones I have upstairs,
Yeah.
the smaller ones in the smaller cages. I have the light come on in the morning. I think it's on for like maybe 2-3 hours, and then turns off, and then comes back on probably, I don't know, maybe like 3 o'clock for like another hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I do leave, so they're right by the window, so they're always getting like the daylight from the sun.
Right.
I find it, so I was watching, where did I see this? And they were talking about snakes and light cycles, and I wonder if we kind of don't necessarily pay attention to it as much as we should. What do you guys think?
I mean, I've done 12 and 12 my entire career.
Yeah, but you're doing a light cycle.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
As
I'm not.
opposed to-
I mean, we went around like nuts. Like, oh shit, what time is it?
3:04.
No, I have another hour before the lights in this room turn off.
Oh.
So it's like because we're leaving, I put a bunch of shit on timers so that I don't have to worry about it. So
it's out of business.
I mean, the rough is just gonna dark. So giving them the 12 and 12, I think it's easier. It's not something that I need to worry about. So, but there are days in certain rooms that don't have timers where it's like I don't get down there till a certain time, or I had to leave the house really early and the light got turned on because I knew I wasn't going to be back until God knows when. So they had more light that day. But
yeah, well, I mean,
really hurt it.
No, I don't think that it's hurting it or necessarily is like a bad thing. I'm just curious. So I think it was where did I hear this? Anyway, I was watching something and they were talking about how, similar to how like when it gets dark, we sort of release melatonin, and it's sort of the opposite effect for a snake, right?
Right, because they're active at night.
It's a nocturnal species. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say. I think it matters for certain species more than others. I think it probably is something we should pay attention to in every circumstance, but also recognize that the light cycles are going to be super, super different depending on where in the,
where in the calendar, where in the world,
latitudinal gradients. For sure.
Sure.
And also the natural history of that particular animal, right? Like, that's my thought.
I used to hate windows when I first started because I'm like,
it's like natural light.
Well, yeah, but like these,
you don't have to do anything.
These bring in drafts, and drafts kill snake. It's like, well, so now it's like I absolutely love the windows in the rooms that have the windows because it's like, and I even like open up all the blinds and stuff because the sunlight hitting through, like the white lips will lay out and you can see them. The olive python will lay across. I have a bunch of logs in her cage. And she'll just lay across those when the sun's coming through that door, like it hitting her cage. So they will definitely use it. So yeah, if I could have skylights and everything where I could watch the phases of the moon and track my snake's activity through that.
Yeah, I like the technology to where you can sort of mimic like your outside. Wait.
Nothing. No, don't worry about it.
He's just mad that you didn't bite.
I kept going.
I hit you in the face with the worm, and you're like, no.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to review back when I edit.
Yeah, but say like 2 days from now, you'll be like, you son of a bitch.
103. Okay, this is how it's gonna go.
He's just gonna text me and be like, you asshole.
I'm in Florida.
Mother, god damn
it. But I do like the technology to where you can control it to what's going on in your outside, right? So like currently kind of what my setup is what I do is I have it to where it'll cut off as the outside ambient light starts to say it like at dusk.
Dark.
You know what I mean? Dusk or dawn. So it's still light out, but I'll have the light shut off when it's like that. So it's almost like they're getting the ambient light from outside, but it's not as strong as like the bright day or whatever.
So I like that too. I like the smart ones that will actually like match what's happening outside your house. But here's a question.
Yeah.
Is perfectly, flawlessly executing a Pennsylvania light cycle helpful or unhelpful for, say, an equatorial light cycle species in, I don't know, Indo?
I mean, I don't think it moves too much. Because like you said, it's longitudes of the problem, right?
Right. Like some places are going to be 12-12 all the time.
Right.
Yeah, but we're not 12-12 in the wintertime.
Exactly.
Right.
So is that helpful or confusing to mimic your light cycle?
I haven't seen any issues so far.
I haven't either, but that's a good question. You know, like you think you're doing, I mean, I don't know. I guess
that
if the
snake
snake
is experiencing the seasonal light cycles of Pennsylvania.
But is it just that is it enough that it's experiencing a seasonal light cycle? Does it really matter what it's experiencing?
What I'm saying is for the snakes that don't have a seasonal light cycle in the wild.
How would the snake know that unless it was like it lived several years of its life
in the wild?
No. Now the question is there an
6-year-old wild caught may not do so well?
That's not even what I'm talking about. Captive bred, like just because.
How does it know?
Well, do you?
All right, no, like my babies.
Hey,
no,
reclaiming my time.
No.
Do you not think that there is a physiological? Don't you do it? Do you not think that there is a physiological built-in thing that corresponds to the light cycle where it's from that will continue to be the case wherever you move the animal to?
Again, what if the animal was born in my basement and has experienced a 12x12 light cycle? It
was still evolved for that light cycle. Why does it need to know? How do your roughies know that they're supposed to cram themselves in a rock crevice when they've never been in Australia?
I don't know. They're never near a rock crevice.
You know exactly what I'm saying, you stubborn son of a...
Yeah, if you're doing the light cycle from where the animal is from.
How does a hognose know that it's supposed to want a frog when it wasn't born in the swamp?
Yes, Owen. How does it know?
How does a diamond python know that it's supposed to die if it doesn't have a winter when it's never been cold?
No, that's
epigenetics is what I say, right? Isn't that what it is? It's the genetics that are in your cells that sort of know, like by instinct.
Epigenetics. I don't even want to try. I'll make Travis sad.
Yeah, I know. Travis just punched the wall.
Travis is like, what?
The table of muffins has been destroyed.
I really hope
all his coworkers are like, God damn it.
I really hope he wasn't. If he was driving at the time, there may be a pile up behind him.
My interpretation of epigenetics is like if something super, super traumatic happens and then that carries over to your offspring somehow. But I don't know.
Yes, I think you're right. I think I totally botched that one. But
anyway.
We'll get a message from Travis this week to be like, "What?"
I'm telling you, man.
It happens every time.
What is he? Is like I'm trying to think of like something that he did.
One of his scones.
Honey jalapeno scones or something.
Everything sounds delectable.
It's amazing.
Oh, dude, he's like the best baker in the world.
Travis could be cold-blooded croissant.
I think we found another
cold-blooded
sponsor.
Company.
Yeah. Can someone just make cold-blooded cages already?
Cages. Why?
Cold-blooded crumpets. Cold-blooded.
Let's see. Lisa
cockatoos.
Always got good information to contribute. Let's see. P&G is notorious for cloud cover. I have GTP enclosures set for a little light in the morning, then a dimmer in the afternoon, and then light. Yeah, that's kind of how I do my diamond pythons.
Dare you abuse those mystical dragons that sit on sticks?
Magical dragons.
Magical dragons that sit on sticks.
Yeah. I think though, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if it would affect them or not, because if they are releasing hormones, right?
Yes.
I would like to ask.
Go ahead.
over the millions and millions of years that have shaped these creatures into the way that they are,
Yeah,
does their physiological state interact with the cycles and environmental factors around them?
yes.
Settled.
Yes, but
Settled.
I control that.
You control that.
Yeah.
But does
I
that
give them
change?
12 and 12. Yeah.
Oh, so you're just immediately changing
I am
the
God.
course of
Yes.
evolution. There's no carryover effect from everything up to that
No,
point.
they've evolved to interact with their environment in a certain way. Their
Correct.
environment is what the basement is in Pennsylvania, so they're going to react accordingly.
No.
Now, the question is are they going to react
that's
poorly?
not true.
That's what you're asking.
No,
Are
it's
they going
not.
to react poorly?
That's not what I'm asking at all.
Because I'm not giving the proper light cycle, are they going to react poorly?
Yeah, that's the question.
Right. And what I can tell you is no.
If you give a diamond the improper heating cycle, if you will,
Heating
will it
is
react?
different than
Heating
than light.
Oh, why?
Because it's an exothermic. It needs to live.
So here's where I
Now
sort of
there's where we don't know.
Yeah, I think.
But we've already established that I do 12 and 12. We know they're not from
So
the
wait,
12 and 12 environment.
before I give you a diamond python, I need to know this. Are you going to use an under tank heater to
No,
heat the diamond python? What are you going to use to heat the diamond python?
probably some sort of light-ish thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Shut up. That's
So
different.
so wait.
Well, it
How's
might not have
different?
UV. It just might be a heat light bulb.
Nobody's
It's gonna
talking
be-
about UV. I'm talking
I
about
thought we
light.
were talking- Shut up.
Who's talking about UV? We're talking about light, just light. But I think, though, that this sparked something in my brain as we were talking, right? That, with diamond pythons and breeding them, the light cycle is important as well. Probably because it's tied to the heat, right? Most people that are keeping.
Could you trick it, though?
If you're not going to, well, if you read the complete carpet python book by the guy that's bred more diamonds than anybody probably in the U.S. says that you got to who Gary Valle.
Yeah, got it.
There's some people who swear that they can breed diamonds in drawer systems.
Oh, but
So
is the benchmark of welfare reproduction?
no, but I'm just saying it's
In
not the
Owen's
only
house,
thing.
yes, that is correct.
It's the only
I'm-
thing we ever do.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I hope this is coming across as a fun discussion and not.
Oh yeah, I'm
Are we
having
good?
fun.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking. Well,
He doesn't want any of us to get triggered. It's all good.
oh, and if you were still in the zoo and you were working with a nocturnal mammal, but you wanted to manage it on a reverse night cycle so that people can see it during business hours.
You black out the room.
But would you calculate those hours based on where it's from?
No,
Like
because-
even though you're flipping the day and the night, wouldn't you still like base
no,
that?
because I would kind of just try to keep it as an even thing.
And you don't think that would mess up its circadian rhythm?
I don't think so. 12 and 12 would probably be the way to go. I mean, also, I don't know how long the zoo is open because aren't the zoos open from like.
Not my point. All right, I'll leave it alone.
I think. Well, this was interesting. Real quick, I thought this was pretty cool. The Roberts was saying about an experiment they did with a plant. They put it in a dark room for days, and its flowers still opened up when the sun came up outside.
There
So
you
what do
go.
you think that's tied to?
A plant.
No. I mean, but like, what is causing? So it's not then the light that's causing it to react, right? Wouldn't that be the thinking? What would cause?
My big picture point, Owen, is that I don't know that we do know that light is so inconsequential.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So wait, Owen, but you have a light cycle. So you're not saying, you're not saying that it's
I
matters.
don't
You're just
change-
saying that you keep yours 12-12 and
Right.
clearly it's working for
I don't
many
change.
species.
I don't change it based off of what's going on outside.
Ever?
It's 12-12. No,
It's just 12-12.
Yes.
Okay. But let's be fair. Most of the stuff you have is probably from the tropics, right? Or no?
I mean,
You got a pretty wide range.
North America is the tropics. China is the tropics. I mean,
Your false water cobras could be quite south,
there's so many
depending on where they're
different
from.
tropics.
Never mind. I retract that
Yeah,
statement.
yeah.
I forget all the shit you have. All
I
the time.
know.
Oh, and it's
So
like
again, I mean, it just
scratching
goes
off
back
shit on the map.
to the
we don't know.
and just surviving and breeding. Is that what we go? Yep, still it must be good.
I think when it comes to snakes in particular, I think that like that's worked for so long, and I think number one, you would know this, Lucas, but snakes are like hard to study in the wild, right? So to know exactly what's going on with them or what they're doing is like crazy hard to really understand. Then a lot of the species, I would say probably, do you think North American species are probably the most like we know the most about? And even them, we don't really know a whole lot about, right?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how I'd answer that. Yeah.
It just seems like most of the people that would study snakes are, it seems like
I would say that we're kind of I think we have the better access to research on North American species because we are in fact in North America.
Right. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like you have like a lot of good schools, right, that would study animals and biology and all that kind of stuff. And then there's such a variety of species in the, I mean, you have colubrids, you have elapids, you have boids, you have what else? Vipers.
Colubroids. Dipsadidae, Xenodontidae, Natricidae.
There you go. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's just so much that you don't know. That's why I wish that I was studying snakes rather than studying looters.
Oh man. Yeah, I guess all I was trying to say is in the spirit of replicating natural thingies, why be picky choosy?
I mean, you can only go so far. I mean, if you want to keep going nuts with it, you can. But when is it becoming overkill? When have you gotten to the point where this snake is going to experience all the things it's going to experience and live a happy life and whatever sunshine, rainbows, bullshit? Like,
well, I should certainly clarify that I don't do what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
It's just an intellectual exercise.
It is simulate a thunderstorm at the same exact time that there's a thunderstorm and its native range really going to affect it that much?
No, but I bet you if you somehow stimulated a thunderstorm while we were actually experiencing a thunderstorm, right?
That's the difference. So,
so that's sort of what you're saying. You're sort of saying that you feel that, yes, in Australia, like, so if I went to Australia and took a diamond python and brought it home,
it'd probably have a little bit of a freak out. Yeah.
I'm saying that a thunderstorm is a weather event, which is extremely variable and random and unpredictable. Light cycle is the same every year.
Every day, yeah,
for millions of years.
They keep going. Weird.
We're not on the same wavelength at all.
No,
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying, and that's okay.
I do. I'm trying to bridge the gap between the two of you.
I don't think that an animal would evolve to have certain physiological cues necessarily to one-off weather events, but they might evolve to have some physiological cues to the thing that their life revolves around every single day, that have set patterns for every year of their life for millions and millions of years.
What about like snakes in caves?
What about snakes in caves?
Like, I'm just saying, like, would you keep them dark constantly? And I guess the thing is, right? Do we even know that they're in the caves all the time?
That would be the question.
I think of retics, right? And I guess this is what I was sort of saying about studying snakes. Like, it's easy to see, like, like when you go herping and you see whatever, in the wild. You're seeing that in a snapshot, right? So it's really easy. Like I remember when I was first doing this, it would be like, oh, look, it's 70 degrees out here. So you must keep them at 70 degrees. And it's like, yeah, tonight it's 70 degrees, but what about 3 nights from now? Or what about 4 nights from now? Or to Lisa's point earlier, when she was saying about, cloud cover in PNG, like, one day it could be sunny as hell. And the next day it could be, I think I heard somebody talking about this too, and I thought it was an interesting conversation where they were saying about how we sort of baby snakes a bit, where it's like they're exposed to like this perfect regime of like what we think in captivity, right? It's got to be this exact time and this exact temperature and this exact hotspot has to be on for X amount of time. However, they're really not experiencing that in the wild. So I guess the question is, and this is sort of what you guys are going back and forth with, is kind of like, does that matter? And if you want to gauge it from them being healthy and breeding and reproducing, then I guess it doesn't matter. But like to a certain extent, like what are we missing? I guess here would be the question. Are we missing anything that could maybe make fecundity better or not have slugs? Like, see, this is where my questions sort of go. It's like I've sort of have even guilty of myself, like when a snake does something that's out of the norm, we just sort of say, nah, well, like when I would have a snake that retained eggs, it's just like, I guess it's it's nothing I did. It just, this is just how it happens. And somehow it goes like that, which may be true, but it may also not be true, right? Could there be, do we have to supplement them? Is that something that we have to do? I don't know. It sounds crazy. It's because as soon as you say that,
if you perfectly mimic the light cycle of
then you don't need supplementation.
Darwin, then your Darwin would not have retained its eggs. No, I don't. But yeah, exactly. We'll never know.
Yeah,
we'll never know.
But that's the fun to me, right?
That's the fuck of it.
Trying to understand that cosmic octopus that we never will.
Oh God, and not the octopus. Now I'm thinking about sushi again, like earlier when I said I could eat burritos every night.
I guess there's the Jones that you have right now with sushi or something like that.
I like food.
I think it was the bowls.
Oh yeah,
bowls.
The Eric Hernandez bowls.
I saw you sent me a picture. It's probably about the bowls.
Yeah,
where you can get them. Yeah,
I will get them, and then I will take a picture of my snakes in them, and then I will pose as Eric Hernandez.
Only if it's like all the baby garter snakes just like piled in the bowl that are all like flying out of it. So it's like, here's Eric Hernandez's like nice little, and then here's just chaos.
That sounds like a fine noodle dish.
Yes. Is that picture in the, what do you call it?
The calendar competition?
Calendar?
Yeah. Yes.
He did?
Yes.
Oh, man.
He said it was. It's
he
in
did?
there.
Oh, okay.
I haven't looked. There's been people just like submitting all over the place. What I love is that, and I think I have to go through it this year, is there some people who keep submitting the same animal in the same pictures for the same categories. And I think we're starting to get to the point where some of them have already won, and now they're just doing it again. So,
people keeping corals found that when keeping under constant perfect conditions, growth was inhibited. This is why cloud simulators were developed. Nature comes in random pulses. Yeah, I guess so. That's interesting. Very cool, Richard. I think that's a whole nother world, man. Aquaculture. Holy hell.
Yeah, it is.
Didn't you say, what was that picture you sent to us earlier? It was like $150,000 tank.
$150,000 tank that was in somebody's backyard. That was like,
it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it would
put a couple goldfish in there, call it a day.
Yeah,
the ones with the big eyes. Right?
There are some aquaculture tanks where like people have them built in their houses as the house is being constructed because it's going to take up like a whole freaking wall kind of shit.
I love that, but I could never like.
Well, and it's like that big of a space, and then they have like 2 lionfish.
Right. I mean, with my little freshwater aquarium, something always goes wrong eventually, and then it's just the end of the world. It's like my fucking nitrites, and then they're all dead. Yeah.
No, I can't do that. I mean, My brother-in-law had a coral tank, and it was just a tank full of coral. There was maybe like 3 fish in there, like clownfish. Everything else was just grew coral, and people love that stuff more than.
So do you think that, I guess, like, why doesn't like companies like ZoomEd or Zilla or whatever, or maybe they are, why don't they borrow more of that technology from aquaculture?
Because we're a bunch of cheap fucks.
There it is. Why would we do that? Why would we buy that? What there are thermostat systems that people have in the UK and stuff like that. They can do 10 to 15 different things.
Yeah,
and it's like
totally.
Hell,
and like the fancy lights that you can simulate storms and weather. Like, no, American herpetoculturalists don't give a shit.
Yeah, why would they spend that money? That would sit on a shelf at a Petco for forever.
But don't you see that changing with the younger generation coming in?
And if it does change, then you'll see the capitalist mechanisms make Zillow and Exoterra make those things.
Right.
They're like, why do we still have a Hot Rock, but we don't have
yeah, why don't I it's like anything. It's like, yeah, why don't I have healthcare yet? It's like, it's the same. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
why?
The issue is that a lot of times when those places and those companies and what they have, they're for like the person who has like one pet, and they're just going to try to get the bare bones, and that's all that they want. You know, we're talking the leopard gecko on the turf carpet with the cave and shit, like in the light. Like, that's all they want. They don't want to. They don't want to believe that there's that next step where it's building the giant enclosure and stuff. And with aquaculture, a lot of that was done by the aquaculturists for the longest time until they started companies that started building these things and working out those things because they found other things that would work that way. Like, you know, for the longest time, I know Johnson's thermostats, Rankos, and stuff like that were always what we used until the Herpstat and a bunch of other different companies started building those. So, you know, it's all that kind of stuff.
It kind of like, I mean, think about it, Owen. Like, remember when we had those, what were they? The Johnson control thermostats where they would just click on and off, right?
That still runs my incubator.
Well, yeah, it's great for that, right? But then we have the ones now where it will simulate like a ramp up and it ramps down, you know, which is probably, what do you call it? Very similar to like, kind of like what we're saying, right? It's not just like heat turns off.
It's not
nighttime,
like
heat turns
warm,
off,
on. Oh, it's the gradual ramping of it.
When you shared that little nugget of info with me years ago, I was just like, wait, what? It does what? What?
Yeah,
what is this voodoo?
It has options. It can do that.
Oh man.
Yeah, my my Ruffy's she's gonna start dropping soon in the next couple minutes because light turns off and then it starts dipping down.
What's it say? At Francis. Wait, hold on.
Oh, well, other buddy said, if an animal is captive bred and never experiences the wild, would it really need more than what it gets in someone's basement? And I responded, if a tiger was captive bred and never experienced the wild, would it really need something more than what it gets in somebody's basement?
I think Tiger King has shown us that it does not. And
my point is, why is it different?
It isn't.
Yes, it's not. It shouldn't.
Just one can fit in a drawer easier.
I just wonder, like, you know, not to circle back to this, but I think that what makes me think that it kind of might matter a bit is that if they're releasing hormones, you know, that's telling them, you know, it's releasing melatonin, like we say, it's time to go to bed. Right. Have you guys ever worked overnight?
Yes.
Like in the snake room?
Like overnight work? Like,
yes.
Oh, like in life? Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was a disaster.
It's fucking terrible, ain't it?
It takes a massive amount of coffee to do it, but
I had to do an overnight
doesn't
fish rescue for the field biology job, and I texted I was getting home as the sun was rising, and I texted the CEO of my company. It was like, I can't do this. I'm so sorry.
Like, you know, working in a supermarket forever, it's like everyone, you know, there's time, like all during the holiday season, I would be working overnight because you had to make party trays and all this stuff for people and whatnot. And it's sort of like, it's terrible, man. Like, it totally messes with your whole. And the night crew, my night crew all look the same, man. They're all these, you know, weathered dudes that just look like they've been through war. It's like because they're up all night long when their body is saying you should be asleep.
Yeah.
Even though their supermarket lights are brighter than a baseball stadium. Yeah. So I don't know. So like those hormones that are making you tired, no matter how many, well, at least for me, how many coffees that you have is still gonna like be released because, well, that's kind of strange, right? Because you would think that it would be nighttime that you would be releasing those. However, like when you look at a blue screen, isn't that having the opposite effect to where it's telling your brain that it's like
yeah, that's why you're
daytime?
not supposed to like scroll or watch TV when you're trying to go to sleep. Yeah.
Bastards. That's how I
Bastards.
fall asleep. My wife won't fall
It's
asleep.
like
unless the
our
TV's on.
biology and physiology evolved to interact with the light cycle. Full
What is
circle.
it? There we go. My overpriced light on my reef tank goes through 3 different stages in an 8-hour day. Huh.
That's cool.
I didn't know.
But
that.
note that he
Other
already
buddy?
said
Overpriced,
overpriced.
Yeah,
That was the first thing that started that.
I didn't know that he kept fish.
He does coral. I make fun of him for his fracking.
Wait, he fracks his reef
No, they
tank?
do the they do this thing where they do like frack meetups where they like, I have a bit of coral that fell off of my thing and I will trade you for this bit of coral that fell off of your thing. And I'm like, you guys swap rocks. And he's like, no, they're coral. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
There's nerds in every camp.
There are. They're everywhere. And the problem is one of the
We cannot be stopped.
there's the pet store by me, that huge one I was telling you about.
Right.
They have an entire like saltwater coral section. And some of the tanks are just filled with bits of coral that are growing.
Right.
So yeah.
Or I guess that's like an expensive hobby to get into, I would think, right?
Dear God, dude.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will breed and farm the stuff and raise it up. And then there are also ones who will like go out on the reef and get the shit. And then it's like,
Wow.
and then there's certain places where you can't get, like it's illegal to
It's like
import or
protected.
export. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I've been raising this, raising this coral for however many years, and now it's illegal in this part and here. And so,
hey, we're all going to be really happy that other buddy has coral when all the reefs are bleached, and that's the only place you can go look at it.
That's right.
I mean, there are places where they're trying to grow the coral from shit that was
And put it
in
back.
captivity. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
that'll work if the
there-
water hasn't changed at all. Why would he die?
That is the issue. Is that
Well,
they're like,
the issue is the heat of the water, right?
right?
That's the joke.
So there was
Oh,
that they
sorry.
had like coral farms
okay.
someplace like that, but yeah.
Like, oh, everybody died because they can't breathe. Just grow them somewhere they can breathe and put them back.
Yeah, right.
The air's the
Listen,
same. They'll be
They were
fine.
imported from Australia. Wait, you can import birds, coral, mammals,
People.
people,
No. With the right
reptiles. That is a no-go.
with the right documentation, you can get the reptiles. None of us.
Yeah,
have
but
that.
then no one in the States will believe your story, and it'll be a worthless $250 mutt. You're a
That's
liar.
right.
yeah.
Clearly.
Unless it's
Clearly.
like-
That's
unless
not the
it's-
story that I can tell, so you're a liar.
Oh dear. Global warming is the problem.
Yes,
yes,
it is.
it is. Yeah, yes, is.
I like how you
problem.
said that. Global
problem.
warming is problem.
Is
I
problem.
mean, he's yes, is not wrong.
Is not wrong, is correct.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't. Oh, I guess you can't do it anymore. Well, cockatoos, cockatiels, budgies.
I mean, there's
I guess
but those are all bred here. So they
okay.
become more expensive because they are bred here.
I
Same
thought
thing
you were
goes with coral.
maybe it's you can bring birds into Australia from
I think
outside.
so. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, there with enough money you can do whatever, but it just depends on, are you willing to spend that money? So
That's true. We need to get a billionaire in the United States really interested in Owen Pellies.
Well,
that or
I have
somebody
something to tell you, fellas. I've been holding out. I really am a billionaire.
I
I
kept-
don't have Owen
yeah.
Pellies. I
Yeah.
have a billionaire.
so I mean,
Damn.
I would prefer the latter.
but you can also apply
Or the-
for grants to get those kinds of things, or
Yeah.
what the hell, if you were going to run a study and you somehow showed on the paperwork that you needed Owen Pelly pythons, you can get the approval for educational stuff or zoological stuff. Problem is
True.
that none of us own an AZA accredited zoo.
So your experience with the zoos, Owen, is it difficult to do that? Is that difficult?
Yeah. I mean, is it difficult?
A lot of hoops you have to jump through.
It's not difficult to write up a project because you're encouraged to do that kind of research, and there are people who are working on doctoral stuff and programs in the zoological setting all the time, and they write up stuff like, let's see if elephants will cooperate if we put like a board and ropes and an apple and see how they get it. Like, and that's so you can write that up. It's just that you need to then write up something to say you're going to try to like study the something process in Owen Pelly pythons. And to do that, you need Owen Pelly pythons. And here's my grant, and it calls for 5 Owen Pelly pythons. And that's what I need to do. And here they are, and now I'm going to study them. And it could even be I'm going to study the genetics of Owen Pelly pythons because I want to make sure that they're their own separate thing. And I need this many Owen Pelly pythons for my lab. Oh, no, they bred. Like, it's that kind of a thing. We weren't expecting
like the
that.
Lake Chapala garter snakes. Like,
exactly.
No!
So there's that kind of stuff where you can kind of put it that way, but you need to have some place that's willing to fund this research or willing to allow you to skate by and do your weird project, knowing full well you just want the snakes. And there's a lot of different stuff with that. Like,
so with your experience with zoos, is it always based around a project? Is it
sometimes,
like you have?
I mean,
is it like a breeding project or it's like a study project or a mix of both? It could be both.
It could be both. So like there are certain things that are species survival plan that have like grants attached. You work with these animals and you breed them, they'll give you a government grant to do it because they want more people working with these because it's an endangered species. But then there are also other ones where it's like these things just keep breeding like crazy. Somebody please take them. Our zoo is full of them. And they'll do swaps and that kind of stuff. Like Philadelphia Zoo was so good at breeding glass frogs that they had glass frogs in like every single goddamn enclosure in the reptile house. And then they started and now I start seeing glass frogs at reptile shows and deli cups. And it was just like, that's just what happened. It kind of churned it out. But could I ask a zoo if I wanted to have a project? Well, normally they wouldn't let me do stuff unless I worked there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm saying if you work there, or you like, I guess you would have to be like head of the department. I don't know, like what the tiers are.
There's also stuff is that like, Owen Pelly pythons are on the list for AZA animals. If you wanted it, you just have to get it, and you probably have to sign some paperwork and put it in the zoo. But is a zoo going to waste the cage space on an Owen Pelly python?
Probably not, because it's not a flashy animal, if you will, right?
Exactly. It's not one of those. Yeah, it kind of is, because the whole point.
I mean, it is to us, but
right. The whole point of the zoo is get people in the door so that they can fund the research and the stuff that they're doing, and also the care of the animals.
Is going to do that more so than
I have this big cage. This big cage is either going to have an anaconda, a king cobra, an Owen Pelly python. Owen Pelly python loses because I want something in there that people are going to recognize and that they're going to want to see.
Yeah, that must be a struggle, right? Because if you're trying to conserve those species, right? It could be those species that nobody gives a shit about, but like are very important to to preserve.
Those usually lose.
Right.
yeah, that's what we're sort of saying.
Exactly. Or what happens is that they become a behind the scenes thing. So certain zoos could have a breeding program of like a bunch of different animals, but they have one on display in like a small cage. Like Philly does monkey tails. Yeah, they have an entire room devoted to monkey tail skinks. They have one out on display,
right?
Or a pair, I think.
I remember that at that blew my mind. Like when we went behind the scenes at the one Carpet Fest to the Philly Zoo, they had this room just full of monkey tail skinks.
Right,
that's cool.
Full of it. And like you see one up in this
one up in the room, one outside. Yeah. So it's that kind of a thing too, where if it becomes rare enough and it's not really that big of a crowd draw, they might have like one on display, but then like an entire like trailer full of them out back on the zoo ground somewhere.
Which is probably why you see the same species over and over again on it. And this, like when it comes to snakes in particular, like you see those same,
right.
You got some type of cobra, you got a green tree or an emerald, you got some type of boa, timber rattlesnake, copperhead, water moccasin, like that kind of
thing. Yeah.
Dude, the Oakland Zoo had a ball python for a really long time.
Did they?
Yeah.
it's some of them stick to the they kind of stick to the formula, but then they're starting to now kind of try to present some of the other ones that are out there that are also cool and also endangered to kind of doing that. And you kind of see that more with like there are what is it, DC Zoo,
right,
is full of animals that almost all I think close to all of the animals at the DC Zoo have species survival plans, have government grants, which is why the zoo is free. And because of that, you go there and you see like Cuban crocodiles and you see like blue iguanas and you see kind of the weirder off the cuff stuff, as opposed to like, here it is, another Burmese python. Like it's that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Burmese pythons. By the way, I stumbled upon somebody. I know I don't really give a shit about morphs, but like apparently like the morphs and like I guess like from what I've gathered, it's sort of like people are moving away from retic morphs, and like now that Burms have pides and all that kind of shit, they're kind of like, they're like morphing up Burmese pythons, and I'm like, okay,
wasn't that horse already dead, like and beat to death? Of like, I'm gonna add morphs to Burmese python. I thought we were done. We're gonna get to the point where they're gonna be like, "This is my pied labyrinth. I'm bored. Back to retics." Like it's
well, you don't really see labyrinth Burmese pythons. Probably the best of all the morphs. Yeah.
Owen,
yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
I love you.
Yeah.
We got it fired up tonight.
I just want to make sure that it's still fire and not coals.
If I had a rock, I'd stove your head in. But oh no, the
lights are out.
All right, and he's back.
Yes.
Wait a minute, that's 6:44. What the fuck?
Oh, your technology doesn't work.
All right.
Oh, so much for that 12-12.
No. One of them turned off, which means that one is wrong. That one is ahead by 15 minutes. This one is still on.
You have 11:45 and 12:15, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Podrick. Yeah, I don't know.
They too big.
Too big.
Yeah.
Too big.
I am definitely putting my retic on notice once my Timor female is big enough.
You're putting him on notice?
She's out. I need to get rid of her. I need to move her on so that I can
that's the problem though, right?
Yeah.
With the big snakes, like how do you move that? You can't ship it. It has to be somebody local.
The issue is that if I was not the person I am, I'd stick her in a Christmas tree tub and take her to Oaks and sit her on the goddamn table and sell her to some asshole who's probably going to either breed her or kill her. But I don't want that. So it's like I have to find somebody who's not going to breed her, who can take care of her appropriately.
Her name is the Florida Everglades.
Well, apparently they're big in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Retics are invasive now.
They're invasive and they're morphs. Like there are morphs in the wild in Puerto Rico. And it's like, we didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world is turning into nerd snake room.
Give it a couple more years. We'll see a cow. Yeah.
So here's a question for you, Owen. And like just talking PA, right? In the shows you see, do you see people moving away from those bigger snakes or no?
No.
No, there's still. Is it? What would you say percentage-wise at a show, like in a PA show? Is it?
The issue is
25%.
You don't ever see the real person that is out there and breeding straight up retics. Like there's no one out there who has a massive table that is full of different morph retics, unless like Nerd comes or Slither comes or something else like that.
How dare you even say that word?
I had to, because it's something that could happen. Or
wait, he's allowed at a PA reptile show?
No, actually, I was about to say he's been banned. So you're right. Okay. That is not going to happen.
Okay.
Yes, Lucas, you have your hand raised.
I want to make an observation. I noticed that unfortunately TikTok, the reptile people that have big presences on TikTok, from what I've seen, it appears to be all big snake people. And I feel like that's because like the algorithm puts a lot of random people in there that don't know much about snakes, just like, like why a lot of people watch Jay Brewer and they're like, dang, that's big. So I feel like, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well, that's the problem. It
Yeah.
not. And I was going to say is like, you don't ever see the person that just breeds nothing but retics. You always see the person that has like 5 or 6 and they've now come to their senses and they're getting out of it. But I want to say the last Oak show, some dude had those big rolling Christmas tree tubs, like ones come with handles and wheels. And the largest and fattest berms and retics I've seen in forever crammed into those things. And they weren't there at the end of the show. They were gone. So people bought them. So for every person who's like, these things are too big, I'm getting out of it, I'm done, there's like 10 people waiting in the wings deciding it was going to be a good idea.
I gotta say, yeah. Richard sort of mentioned this in the chat that Snake Discovery has 3 million subs on YouTube and they do hognose.
Yeah.
I think she does
Hognose and bull snakes.
fabulous. I really love what she does.
You know what else Emily produces that is really cool?
What? Lake Chapala garter snakes?
Well, no, but normal, different garter snakes. I was gonna say garter snakes.
Okay.
Doesn't she have a setup where it's like a whole bunch of garter snakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. We took it full circle.
Yeah. Back around.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. She did this video that I watched that was on a venom extraction place that she visited, which I just was, oh man, dude, it was so interesting of like what they were talking about and like that I know that there's been stuff, but I don't know. It's just maybe it's just how she dumbed it down. You know what I mean? Like dumbed it down for my Neanderthal type brain.
Venom bad. Okay,
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad she said that.
No, but I just like they were, just what they were doing and like how the different species that they were extracting and how they have to approach it differently. And like, I don't know. I was just really into it,
Yeah. Yeah, I love what Riley just commented as well. Yeah, I think that I wish that they were the face of the hobby, and they're it's not like they're small potatoes; they're close, but prop that up.
Don't you think that there's a certain aspect of the hobby that kind of like looks at her as just like amateur hour type of thing?
Oh, for sure, and there's definitely some sexism in that too. But that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, definitely. Like, oh, that's all you work with, like.
Well, with my corn snake, I have a Okatee corn snake, and like I'm like I'm excited about it, and people are just like, nah, it's just a corn snake, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
it's still a snake. Like I mean, my nephew watches Snake Discovery, and he also watches Brian Barczyk and stuff like that, and it's a great way to bridge him into this. Yes. Because they're covering a lot of the stuff that I didn't know needed to be explained because I'll yada my way through it. And that's not how you should start. So he knows this, he knows that. He keeps asking me for pastel ball pythons, which I have to beat out of him. But it's the fact that he knows these things and he's kind of being able to kind of work through that, which is why he will eventually kill me and take control.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Except he will be better and stronger.
I mean,
it's the rule of two.
And it's always how it goes. The next generation is always better and stronger.
Pastel ball pythons, he won't.
Well, that's where it starts, man. We all start somewhere.
What's his name?
I mean?
Hunter's
going to breed Bolins.
Yeah,
he already has.
He's going to breed Bolins and Owen Pellies without even a hitch. No one will be sitting there and M toxins. That's it, Riley. Yep.
He has a corn snake and 2 king snakes here, and he keeps telling me about how I'm going to breed them, and then he and I will split the clutch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing all the work, and you and I are going to split this clutch? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh.
That's the greatest trade deal in the history of trade deals.
Oh, yeah. He keeps asking me about
trade deal ever.
It was a perfect phone call. I get half of the clutch.
He wants Westerns, hognose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
Riley
like the
just got
Madagascar.
Westerns. I don't know if
Yeah.
you wanted that out there in the thing.
But here we are.
World,
It is
but-
now.
Sorry, Riley, if you didn't want that out there, but
Oh
you know.
I saw
no!
that too, and I responded that I was jealous. I think they're freaking cool, and I want normals.
They're hard to find though, right?
That's
They're
what I
so
would
hard
do.
to find.
That is what I
What
would
the
do.
hell?
It would be normal, either Westerns or Mexican hognose. Like anything that's, I want the normal. I don't want anything. Somebody tried offering me some sort of like super Conda snow. I'm like, no, I don't want that shit. I want a normal one. Yeah,
The one you would find in the West. That's
exactly.
the one I want.
Yeah.
But we found this morph in the West.
I don't
damn it,
care.
you and your yeah, they're cool snakes, man. Cool snakes.
Absolutely.
I kind of like, do you like, let's ask this question, Owen, when it comes to hognose, right? Are you more into the Eastern, Western, or the ones you have?
Eastern Westerns are those ones way over there.
The ones that are from South.
If you go east enough, you're west.
Exactly. Yeah, if you keep going.
Yeah, that's true.
Would Madagascar be more east? It's I mean, I really like the Madagascar hogs, but I kind of like them for a different reason. I think it's like trying to get Easterns without having to deal with Easterns. So it's kind
the
of
trouble with Easterns is right that they're
frog eaters,
really frog eaters.
But I already have that. Right? I already have that.
Yeah, you already have that set up.
All right, I'm already.
Why don't you have Easterns?
I'm literally feeding hunks of frog to several of this year's babies because
sounds like you should have Easterns.
Exactly. So
what are you doing? Do you see them in your
myself.
future? Like you would want to get them? Yeah. Or would you rather go Western?
I want to go Western for just a pair. There we stop getting my words out of my mouth before I.
Oh, just wait till you read Zach's book. It's all
I already
over.
am. Anyway,
it's all over.
Yes, it's over there. I've already read it.
Did you?
I finished of it. Not all of it.
Okay. I was going to be very
the important parts. I did the barons and I did the tricolor. Anyway,
sorry, Owen. We keep talking over you. Go
fucking Christ, shut up.
He sounds like Jim right now.
Did I just hear Melissa laughing?
No, she's gone.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm so excited about the hog nose. I want to learn.
I just want to reiterate that we're your friends and this is a safe space.
I'm gonna stab you, but anyway, it's
okay.
All right,
go ahead.
I want a pair of Westerns, but I want normal Westerns or Mexicans. This way, they can just be. I don't want any morph, and I just want them just for what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Easterns, and I want to say it's only because I can't imagine. I think it would be like the blonde hognose. So I got the clutch of blondes, and it has been so slow moving them because you have to find the right people who are really interested in them, and then they want to buy them. And that's like, okay, it's not like the Mad Hogs where the Giants seem to have something that people just want them. So I think if you did Easterns, it would be the same way. It would just be like, I'll breed these, but only maybe every other year, maybe every 2, because it's going to take me that long to get rid of the babies. So I think I would do Westerns, just normals, and then I do want a pair of tricolors.
Tricolors. Are they from Central America? South America?
South America. Yeah.
Okay. So they fit right in there.
One of those down there.
One of down there. Yeah, they're down that way.
They're down there.
They fit right in with the.
They fit in with everything else. You know, the false water cobras, the Barons racers. Yeah.
I would like to read Robert's comments for our audio listeners. First, he said, "I have no desire to keep colubrids, but I love them, and I understand why people keep them." 1 minute later, I lied. I really want Cali Kings. I respect the hell out of that. Cali Kings are one of the prettiest wild snakes.
I have
white and black, man. Come on.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
This thing's like, so I have lavender albino Calis. I have like 4, my adults, and then a pair I'm raising up. And then I actually got a reverse stripe black and white one. So it's white, and then it just has this broad black, almost like somebody took a paintbrush and just went straight down her. And I love that. I love the look of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'd have a bunch of Cali Kings if I didn't have to do the damn native wildlife permit to breed them. Plus, I could just go outside and find them. That's
actually that is so I had the clutch of white-sided black rat snakes, the albinos too, and I wasn't able to wholesale them like I wanted to, because there's a lot of new restrictions, a lot of people who are kind of getting like, we can't take that, we can't take this. So I did eventually find somebody to take them, but now it's like, do we continue going with rat snakes, or do I move them on and make more room for more Cali Kings? Because I know for a fact
Cali Kings.
Cali Kings. So I'm thinking, yeah.
So like when you say rat snakes, you're talking about like
my black rats.
Black rats.
Yep.
Yeah.
My white-sided black rat snakes. The one guy I wholesaled a bunch of stuff to couldn't take them because they're illegal in Virginia. And then the other guy couldn't take them because he was going to go do shows up in the Northeast, like further up New York and stuff like that. And they're not allowed up there.
Cowards.
I did eventually find a buyer who does shows and does pet stores and stuff here in PA. But I had like 19 of them.
Right.
So it was kind of one of those things where it was one of those where it took a little bit. But again, I have a set number of cages, and it's like this pair was always kind of cool because they were easy to breed and I could wholesale out the babies pretty easily. But now it's like, all right, well, two of my major people that I wholesale to cannot take them. So
yeah.
What are laws?
Very important
If
things
not
that will
mere
no,
suggestions.
No,
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
That's
We
how
suggest you act like this.
that's
The
how
pirate code. It's more like guidelines.
Well, I
than
don't know,
actual
man. When's the last
rules.
time yeah, right. When's the last time you've been to Philadelphia? I would say that laws are more like suggestions.
Yeah.
But I would like
you
to
are
not.
Philadelphia.
I
I'm
would like
kidding.
to not have
I'm
fish
kidding.
and wildlife at my house.
I'm
like,
just
you know,
joshing. I welcome
hate-
fish and wildlife anytime.
Yeah, I hate
Expect me, friends.
yeah, I hate that I can't keep a black rat snake. That's just a black rat snake. I
you
hate
can, but you have to
No,
prove like, well,
I can't.
it's you
that. And it
can.
got to be a morph and this and that.
That
and
not
da-da-da-da-da.
necessarily true. You can keep a black rat snake that is just a black rat snake, but it has to be captive born and bred, and you have to have proof that it was. So, like, I mean,
But it can't be from PA, right?
it can. I mean,
So wait, the PA law says you can keep them if you
The
can
PA
prove
law-
that it's
so
bred in
I
captivity.
mean, let's put it this way. If you were going to have an entire bank of cages and breeding stuff, and you had a bunch of black rat snakes, you will have to prove to Fish and Wildlife where you got these fucking things, you know. But if you have one black rat snake that is your pet that you bought at like a Hamburg show and they said it was captive born and bred, I don't think you're going to have that big of an issue, you know, because
Okay.
like even then with the morphs, eventually you are going to pop out a normal. Like, it's going to happen.
I thought that they were off limits. And the snake I really like to set up in like a naturalistic was a DK snake. I know, as stupid as that sounds.
Well,
Like,
it's
I think
almost
those
like
little things.
It's almost like, would it be an issue? But like, do you just need to get a fishing license to get it, and then you harvested your black rat snake? Because that's what you have to do to get copperheads.
I could technically take like 5 Cali Kings with my fishing license. I just can't breed them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
so
the
you
whole part
could
of it.
have them. You just
Right.
can't breed them. Oh, I got you.
So it's not that it's illegal. It's just that you can't sit there and have like 12 of them without explaining yourself.
So I guess those laws are in place so that you're not poaching from the wild to then
Exactly.
turn
For
around
commercial
and-
purposes.
Yeah.
Right. That's why when
get
they
that.
asked me about mine, I told them they were white-sided head albinos, and they're like, "All right, it's a mutation. They were captive born and bred. Check." That's all they cared about.
See, this is why I kind of agree with Zach, right? He was saying, I forget which one he was talking. I mean, it could have been like the one that they had where they were sort of like airing their grievances or whatever. That one episode where it was him, Matt, and Clint.
That was
right?
a great one.
Yeah, right. Didn't he say about in there, like he was talking about how like being better at certain things would probably give us more credibility. So I guess it's sort of what you guys were saying earlier, right? If our face is Jay Brewer and that's what an academic sees, like we're toast. But if it was Snake Discovery, then maybe we'd have a better shot at
Right.
You know what I mean? And looking more professional, if you will. And then those laws would be like, hey, we're doing this in captivity. So maybe those, you know what I mean? But I think he was talking about turtles or wherever, where they're just snatching up all these turtles.
But still, like there was
West Virginia's like, you can't have.
Right. Because there was a thing in New Jersey where some guy was literally going down this one road grabbing all the terrapins, taking them to his house, injecting them, letting them lay their eggs.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Selling them as proven breeders. And the way they found out is because the people who are doing the research study are like, along this one road, there's a dip in the number of turtles. Like, what the fuck? And then
people suck, man.
Right.
People
they
suck.
sat out and they saw the guy. And then the dude also got arrested because he tried to send a bunch of baby terrapins to Canada through USPS, through like a flat rate shipping box. So
not only do they suck,
Computer
they're
parts.
stupid.
Right. Mixed nuts.
Mixed nuts. Yep.
Puffy beans.
I got several snakes that were fragile computer parts. Yeah. So, but that's
I got a Brazilian smooth snake. It's not venomous at all.
That sucks.
I have to worry about that soon.
You do.
Yeah.
What do you have to worry about?
False
There's
water
some
cobra.
states with
Why?
no rules for that, right?
There are some states that have no rules for false water cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some state. Well, yeah. How do they chalk up? Do they chalk them up as rear fang venomous, and they fall
the
under
rules
that
are
rule?
The rules for rear fang venomous are weird. Where it's it's almost like they're like cobra and then everything cobra, and then like they'll list a couple things, and if it's a rear fang, they might skip it. Or they might put it down. So
you're fine. You have Brazilian smooth snakes. They're very smooth and unimposing.
Brazilian, yeah.
Yes. You're good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in PA, can't you go collect one male timber rattlesnake?
If
you have the license,
I would say
right?
you have to have the fishing license, and I have to see what.
But you can go and collect
harvest. You can go collect
or harvest one.
Harvest, yeah. You can harvest them. You can harvest a copperhead. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably. Well, okay. If you could keep, this is what we'll end with.
All right.
If you could keep one species of venomous, let's just say that it has to be native to the U.S.
God damn it.
You want to go outside the U.S.?
No,
I was just trying to make it easy.
No. U.S. is good. U.S. is good.
Right? So we don't have to worry about importation and all that kind of stuff. You could keep one species of venomous.
Yes.
What would it be?
Norpac.
That's not in the U.S. though.
Norpac?
Wait, aren't they from Mexico? Or no?
No.
Wait.
Crotalus oreganus.
You're
the one that I could find 50 minutes up the hill.
That's not United
Northern
States.
Pacific. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, you're right. California could be its own country.
Yeah, that's not United States.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lucas.
It's okay.
I'm so used to hearing rattlesnakes.
Is Norpac something else?
No. I'm so used to hearing rattlesnakes as their scientific name and not as like their common name.
I apologize. Oreganus squared.
Yes, there you go. That I know.
Yes.
Gila monster.
That's not a snake, bro.
Okay. I believe you said venomous.
Okay.
I think you said any venomous in the United States. Gila monster. If you're gonna make me pick a snake, Rich knows.
Yeah, Willardy is hard to beat.
Yeah. Because either them
even their name is just cool. Willardy.
No, I can't do that.
It would either be that or the rock rattlesnakes, the ones that like have the white, and you could just fill the cage with those rocks, and it could just be blending in and kind of kick ass like that. So, yeah,
yeah. So it would be rattlesnake. Okay, what were you gonna say, Lucas?
Oh, I was just gonna say Willardy. That triggers me. I had an uncle named Willard on my Chinese side that called me a chow hound when I was a fat child, and it was very hurtful.
So any Willardys is that?
We don't need to, let's not, hold that against the rich nose rattlesnake.
I'm just sharing.
I think I would have to go ridge nose as well. Willardy.
There you go.
Damn you. I'm not a chow
probably No, you're not. But I do. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to take that back.
Know what Riley's venomous is? EDB?
Eastern Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Cool.
So I had when I was a kid, I had Easterns and Western Diamondbacks, both of them. But Eastern Diamondbacks are I hope so bad we see one of them, man. They're so
that would be cool. Yeah.
you choose Willardi over Price Eye? Yes, I would. But I think I'm with Podrick. I think I would go Copperhead. That would be my my go-to.
Yeah, Copperheads are pretty.
Yeah, they are pretty. Pretty good. We can keep whatever venomous we want. All right.
True
I
enough.
gotta go.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Follow us on the things, NPR Network, and we have some swag available. We're going to be working on that a little more because Colubroid and
Nope. Try again.
CCR.
Greetings, Colubrid Radio.
Yes,
Revival.
down on the bayou. We were talking about swag and stuff. So I thought there was a T-shirt over there. Apparently not. So I'm working on that. So we'll get the chop on that. Cold-blooded caffeine. If you are looking for some awesome coffee from some awesome people that do awesome things for the environment, Cold-blooded caffeine is the way to go. We have an affiliate link that's in the show notes that if you're interested in getting some, I would recommend the Carpets and Coffee. I've had most of them now at this point, and Carpets and Coffee is my favorite. I like the darker roast. If you're into darker roast, that's the way to go. Yeah, just saying. And Cold-blooded Cafe.
Hey, is there a sale going on?
There is. I think it was. What did you say, Eric? It was like a 40% or 50% sale they got going on right now.
No, I did not say that.
Oh, I thought you posted that. Never mind.
No, I was saying that we should. No. I was saying about how we can add commercials in to all the podcasts from the past.
Do that.
So when they have a sale, I can add that in and then take it out. But if you want to save 10% off your order, NPR 10. But also watch what they're doing over there because they do pop up sales from time to time. And they
usually do a sale every weekend, and they kind of sometimes Chris will even ask people what they want on sale or what they need. And then any sale that they have, the NPR 10 can be added on top. So if they have a 40% sale going on right now, you can add, it becomes 50. So
that's half.
Very good. Yeah. So
with the way things are today, price-wise for everything from food to cars to houses.
I wish I had an NPR 10 code for gas.
I actually got a
let's work on that.
I got 2 boxes from Chris last week and was able to feed my entire collection. And
it's all gone?
Not all of it. I think I maybe have a bag or 2. So
I know I have to restock. I've wiped out my
freaking nuts, man. But
I can't even imagine, bro.
Nuts, they're rats.
Very good. Anyway, that's all we have for everybody tonight. Right? Is that it?
Hey,
I think, that's it.
You there. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. It's been nice spending time with you.
Correct.